Welcome to the Launch to Impact Leadership Podcast. My name is Dr. Keena, a leadership development coach, author, and former nonprofit administrator. I teach emerging leaders how to master the skills needed to effectively engage their staff, strengthen teams, accelerate performance, and position themselves for long-term success. Now, if this is your first time listening, welcome. And make sure you hit subscribe so you can keep building your leadership skills with me each week. So everyone is talking about AI, about what it can do, what it will replace, who it will replace, what leaders need to learn about it. All sorts of conversation is happening. But today I want to talk to you about what it will never replace. And that is your ability to read a room, connect with your people, and lead in a way that makes others feel seen. You see, emotional intelligence is not new, but it's a value that keeps increasing. And the leaders who develop it now are going to be the ones who stand out in the next decade. As AI continues to automate the world and support workloads, the skills that remain uniquely human become the differentiators. The World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report lists social influence, emotional intelligence, and resilience as the top skills needed for leaders both now and in the future. Research tells us that EQ, or emotional intelligence, accounts for nearly 90% of what separates high performers from their peers. And that's not talking about being nice. That's not what emotional intelligence is at all. Emotional intelligence is about reading people accurately, managing your own reactions, and navigating complexity with clarity. It is the reason that one supervisor can deliver difficult feedback and strengthen a relationship, while another can deliver the same message and create resentment. Same words, different level, and different display of emotional intelligence. Sadly, studies also show that employees have stopped expecting their leaders to listen to them. They have not stopped wanting them to listen. They've just stopped expecting it. And this is one of those places where emotional intelligence becomes practical, because it's not just about empathy. It's about what you do with what you notice. It's hearing your team or hearing from your team and following through as appropriate. So when you're having those conversations with them, when you actually are listening to them, what do you do with it? So let me give you a couple of examples that you can use. When someone shares a concern, circle back to them within 48 hours to let them know what you did with that information, or even let them know what your reflections were. Another thing that you can do is, before giving feedback, consider the emotional context the person is in and how to best deliver it. Timing and tone always matter in communication. Hey there, before we go any further, if today's conversation is hitting home for you, I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine walking into your next high pressure moment, and instead of second guessing yourself, you're clear, you're grounded, and you're decisive. That's exactly what we're building inside the Launch to Impact Leadership Summit on June 24th, 2026 in Long Beach, California. This isn't just another leadership event. It's a space designed to help you become the kind of leader who stays steady when everything around you isn't. You'll walk away knowing how to stay anchored, adapt without losing direction, lead your team through challenges, and build real trust, even in difficult moments. And the best part? You'll leave with the tools you can use immediately. If you're ready to lead with clarity instead of pressure, grab your ticket at www.launchtoimpact.org. The link is also in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. All right, let's get back to it. And one other thing I want to share with you is to replace "I hear you" with "here's what I'm going to do." Here's how I'm going to handle this. This is what I'm going to do going forward, so that people understand that their words, the time that they spent with you, is not falling on deaf ears. Now, relationships grow when people feel heard and responded to. It's not just enough to listen to me, but also do something with this time that we've spent together, with this information that I'm sharing with you. Listening without action is emotional withdrawal, and over time it just becomes depleting. But the good news is that emotional intelligence is a set of practices that can be developed and strengthened. So if this is not your strong suit, you can work on it. You can build that muscle. What you're going to focus on is self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and relationship management. And here's how you build it. This week, before every significant conversation, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. And if for some reason or another you're not able to do it before these conversations, do it right after. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What might the other person be feeling? And what does this situation need from me emotionally, not just logically? We often follow or focus on the logics. We often focus on the strategy. We often focus on the solving the problem, addressing the issue. But you also need to focus on the emotional aspects of yourself, of the person that is sharing with you or the people that are sharing with you, and then also the situation. I want to also suggest that you seek feedback by asking someone you trust, how do I make people feel in meetings? Or how do I make people feel in conversations with me? And the answer may surprise you. But what it will do is it'll teach you more about your emotional intelligence than any formal assessment ever could. And if you're feeling brave, you can even ask someone that you're challenged with. Oftentimes, it's easy for us to go to the person that's always our go-to. But when we really want to stretch and we really want to grow, we can also ask the people that maybe we don't like working with so much, or they're not as easy to get along with, or they're not the person that's always going to agree with you. So as we close, AI, or artificial intelligence, can analyze data, it can automate processes, and it can predict trends. But it cannot look someone in the eye and say, I see you, I hear you, and here's what I'm going to do about it. Leader, that's your role. And this is the part of your role that is irreplaceable. Now, next week, we're going to talk about what to do when your playbook stops working and how to adjust your leadership approach without losing your footing. Thank you for listening to the Launch to Impact Leadership podcast. If you're ready to go deeper, check out the show notes to grab a copy of my book, Launch to Impact: Essential Foundations to Optimize Your Influence and Accelerate Your Success as a Developing Leader. This is Dr. Keena, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building momentum.